And we begin here at 4 with the impacts of the rain moving through Southern California. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Michael Brownlee.
And I'm Annabelle Sedano in for Colleen Williams tonight. The rain has brought slick roads and a risk for flooding. The LA Fire Department is preparing for any swift water rescues, and the LADWP is on standby in case of power outages. Let's take a live look at conditions right now. The rain will start to taper off this evening, but flood watches are set to go into effect for much of Southern California with another wave of rain coming overnight.
All right, we have team coverage for you here this afternoon. We begin with meteorologist Belen Delano, who's busy tracking the storm's path. Belen.
Here we see this area of low pressure. This morning, it was the frontal system that pushed through that brought us that steady rain during the morning commute. And since then, we've had scattered activity that has added to our rainfall amounts, but hasn't really caused too many issues. Now, this system is going to stay in our area over the next 24 hours. And once it starts to press inland, that's when we're going to see that heavy rain move in. That will be in the overnight hours and through tomorrow morning when that second heavier band is expected. Now, we're not out of the woods for the rest of today. In fact, when we check in with a closer look of satellite and radar, I'll transition to our first alert radar network. You can see where that rain is currently falling. It is light over Ventura County, the coastal locations of LA County, a bit of a break over LA County, and some light showers over Orange County and the Inland Empire. When I zoom out, you can see all that moisture that's moving towards the north that is going to be impacting the afternoon commute, 5, 6 o'clock, even 7 o'clock. So we're going to see some steady rain very soon, but that's not the bulk of the moisture we're expecting. In fact, when we take a look at the flooding risk for tomorrow, it has increased. We're at the second highest level of that flood risk for tomorrow when we're going to see heavier amount of rain and also the possibility for some thunderstorms. Here's a look at that flood watch. It goes into effect tonight at 1 a.m., lasts all the day tomorrow. So tomorrow is the day to watch when we're going to have those high rainfall rates and a possibility for some thunderstorms. I'll be back to time it out. Over to you.
All right, Belen, thank you. Well, the storm could be a big problem for those communities still recovering from the wildfires back in January. Evacuation orders will go into effect tonight at 8 for people living near the burn scars.
Meanwhile, Topanga Canyon is closed until further notice. That's where we find Karma Dickerson. She is live in Malibu at Topanga Canyon Boulevard and the PCH. Karma.
Yes, and this roadway is closed. People who live in this area are very familiar that when things get a little bit dangerous weather-wise out here, they close this road. Now, they're concerned about things like rock slides, mudslides, overall dangerous driving conditions. Meanwhile, it's not just Topanga that's the concern. We are in the middle of the Palisades burn scar. On either side of us, to Malibu, to Palisades, they are worried about what might happen if the land starts to move.
Bracing for mudslides. People in the Palisades fire burn scar area are being warned to prepare for potential runoff from unstable scorched land. Up and down PCH, the tale of two realities the storm brings: tempting waves and the threat to life and property.
We have a strike team that's 5 engines, and we're putting them in the Type 3, which is a smaller, squattier engine, 4-wheel drive to get up into the brush areas as necessary. That's 22 additional firefighters on that team alone, plus swift water rescue, helicopter pilots, bulldozer operators, 911 dispatchers, just to ensure that we have enough resources in case there is any sort of a problem.
In many neighborhoods, even some homes that didn't burn sit empty. The people who lived there displaced by either internal fire damage or fears of returning. But in this area, currently under evacuation warning, some people remain.
Well, I got a swimming pool out the back that I've drained a little bit of the water out of it, so I've got some submersible pumps in low-lying areas. I've checked my rain gutters and everything like that, so we've got all the prep we can do. There's nothing coming from the property next door. So we think we're good.
Brad and Natalia Piper's home survived the Palisades fire, but the couple wasn't there when it happened. They just moved in 6 weeks ago. They said they did their due diligence and are aware of the potential risks.
Some properties have a particular land movement, like up the hill there. But on our side, that canyon is a little bit more, stable.
Their Sunset Mesa house surrounded on all sides by homes that burned. But they have examined those properties, and they believe they've been properly excavated. So any potential runoff, they predict, will pool and not flow.
So will this be the first wet season you've been through since moving in?
Yep. We also general contractors, so we're pretty handy. Like anything that's broken, we fix.
Meanwhile, some specific homeowners have received mandatory evacuation orders, with law enforcement knocking on their doors. The LA Mayor's office estimates 120 homes in the Palisades, Hearst, and Sunset fire areas were ordered to evacuate.
We don't want people to be unnecessarily concerned, but let's use common sense. Stay home if you don't have to go out.
And we asked the LAFD if they've seen anything on their radar that's of particular concern. They say so far they haven't had any notable issues that they're responding to. But again, they're watching this very closely. We're expecting an update from City Hall at about 5 o'clock. Reporting live, I'm Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
All right, Karma, thank you. Well, the foothill communities from Sierra Madre to Altadena are also on alert here this afternoon. LA County Sheriff's deputies patrol neighborhoods still under an evacuation warning. Many people back on their properties for the first time since the Eden fire are now bracing for any potential water or mud flows.
Se construyó con mucho trabajo.
Well, it was built with hard work. Jose Matias tells us about the home he and his brother lived in for 28 years. He says rebuilding there is expected to start early next year.
Meantime, in Echo Park, crews are working to remove a large tree that fell on top of a pickup truck. You see it there. It happened overnight on South Hoover near West 2nd. No injuries, fortunately, were reported. And a rainy weekend forecast means a lot of people are going to stay home and stay dry, but businesses are hoping boredom might just creep in and get people out and about. NBC4's Alex Rozier is live in West Hollywood, where one store owner says the wet weather is the last thing they need. Alex.
Yeah, Annabelle, running a business in Southern California is hard enough, so business owners are hoping that the rainy weather does not keep people away. Take a look over here. First of all, it's only been open a couple of months. They've already eliminated their outdoor seating for the weekend, putting bags around all their tables and chairs. Normally that would be outside. And then across the street here, across Santa Monica Boulevard, we had the chance to talk to the co-owner of Fangirl Cafe, and they said even without the rain, they're barely hanging on.
Community is what keeps it going, but I don't know how long that can keep going. And I've heard a lot of similar situations in neighboring businesses, so we're all just doing our best to stay.
They opened Fangirl Cafe about 2 years ago. It's a coffee house that highlights women and music. They spent the first year trying to get noticed in the neighborhood, and the second year was slowed by the fires, a challenging economy, and problems with air conditioning in their space. Now there's a big storm coming, and they hope it doesn't slow them down even more.
Crazy because it was like so hot last week, but when we saw that news, it's again uncertain how is business going to be. Typically in Los Angeles, people kind of avoid going out when it's rainy, so hopefully the fact that we have a lot of indoor space and seating will help us. But definitely anytime you see a storm like that coming, you're just like, here we go again, another weekend of possibly no sales. And
as we bring you back out live here, either way, the Fangirl team says they are committed to serving good food and coffee this weekend for whoever shows up, and they hope you do, and so do these businesses that will also be open here on Santa Monica Boulevard. And though they will be open, some events, some festivals, concerts will not be happening this weekend due to the storm. I talked to a few people today who have tickets to events that are no longer happening. We'll talk about those festivals and those shows that are a no-go due to this rain that is on the way. Reporting live in West Hollywood, I'm Alex Rozier, NBC4 News.
You're full of great news. Good news there, Alex. We invite you to download our free NBCLA app. Just scan the QR code on your screen. It gives you instant access to our First Alert radar network. And you can track the rain hour by hour and sign up for custom weather alerts wherever you are or wherever you go.